But I also saw that you tweeted that you said, like, if you're letting a company take a 15% distribution fee in like 2020, you're owning up to the exploitation.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
It's a fact. Well, because that part of record deals is so outdated, because it used to be like, well, we need to take at least 15% because we're pressing up all these CDs. There's a lot of physical CDs being shipped out the store. The expenses were crazy. Nowadays, right, I can, right now when we leave this interview, make a song in my basement, press upload on TuneCore for $9.99, and I know there's all these other avenues. This one's cheaper. You're missing the point. That's surface level shit. The beneath the surface shit is I can upload a song, distribute.
Yeah.
Distribute is just the old word for upload. I can upload a song for less than $10.
Right.
Y'all want 15% forever?
Yeah.
Are y'all fucking crazy for pressing up? Because guess what they're doing on their end? The labels that are taking 15%, guess what they're doing on their end nowadays? Upload. And that's what they're charging you 15% for. Now, if you go ask a label, they'll talk in circles about, no, there's more to it than that. It's pitching and it's playlist. Y'all don't guarantee playlisting though. You can't.
That's true.
Because you don't own Spotify. You don't own the playlist. So you're just guaranteeing that you might get told no for 15%.
What's up, y'all? My name is DJ Shacktown, and today I want to talk about being independent in 2021 as an artist. Today is a new year, and I saw this Russ clip floating around. Shout out to Cultural Millennials, and Russ has always been one of the biggest people and the biggest pioneers behind being independent today, and how he really made it in the game. He's spoken about it publicly, spoken about how much money he made, how much money he does make, and how labels are not needed, as you see in the clip. And today I just want to talk about being an independent artist and all the troubles that come with it. Because sometimes there's pros and cons to everything. As an up-and-coming artist, you want to sign to these big labels, you want to get on these big award shows and these big radio placements, playlist placements, and a lot of that that comes with being signed, that comes with being on a label, that comes to the connections and the networks that these labels have built over and monopolized over years and years and years. And that's the dreams and glamour of being an artist. Sometimes you're a struggling artist with no money, you got 1 or 2 songs popping, or you're making some noise in your city or making some noise somewhere. A label comes to you, they give you 10, 15, 20,000 up front, and then they own your royalties and masters for the next 10, 20 years of your life. And that's, that comes, sometimes you need that 10, 20. So from going from 0 to 10, 20 could be a lot. And then you can make a little show money here, a little club money here, and, start to add up for you as an up-and-coming artist. That's part of being signed. But today, I want to talk about being independent and what it takes to really be a good independent artist today. And the first thing to me that's always important that people really don't speak about enough is the importance of having a strong team around you. As an artist, as you're trying to grow, as you're trying to create music, as you're trying to be better with music, you can't take all hats. Sometimes you have to focus on the creativity of the music and making the music as best as it possibly can. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of hours, a lot of practice, a lot of studying, a lot of research. And to be able to then be a manager, to then be a lawyer in a sense, to then be a distributor, to then be, wear all these hats as an artist, sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it can hinder the actual creativity as an artist. You need people, and even if it's 1 or 2 people around you, you need a strong team that's gonna take you serious, that's gonna be about you and not try to be you. Cause that's very important. Cause sometimes people, they look at you like, oh, I could do that too, and then they want to be you. No, you need people around you who's gonna believe in you and push you to be the best you can. That can focus on, okay, we need to set up a show here. We need to set up a free show here. We need to set up. We need to get this song copyrighted so this song can get uploaded. We need to see how to get this sample approved, and we need to see how we hit up that producer. Sometimes it's too much as an independent artist, and when you have no low to no budget, you have to wear those hats. But you got to find people around you that you can trust, that can really help you and help you build your career. Because if you don't take it serious, nobody else will. You got to take and you got to take yourself serious, which leads right to my next point. Take all your music as serious as possible. You can't slide in it. You can't not take it serious. If you're not serious about your own craft, the person listening is not going to be serious about hearing you. At the end of the day, we're in an oversaturated marketplace. Super oversaturated marketplace. There's artists popping up every day. You have to be as serious as you can with releasing and putting out your music. Don't put out half-ass shit. Even if it don't gotta be every song gotta be the best song, but don't put out half-ass shit as far as the mix, as far as the logo for the song, as far as how you distribute it. Make everything a big deal, because you never know who you can get, Bob. You never know how important you may seem to somebody else and how they may listen to you just off of how it's presented. Make sure every song and everything you do as an independent artist is presented as a big deal, even if you have one follower. Even if you have one follower across all platforms, present it as a big deal. Because if it's presented half-assed or it's presented like you don't care, it's gonna show, and it's gonna be like, well, I'm listening to this. This doesn't look right. Like, you got to spend time on your logos as an artist. You got to spend time as your cover arts on YouTube and Spotify and the streaming acts. You got to spend time on a font that you use in these cover arts. You got to spend time on every aspect that makes it look as serious as possible, that can convey the audience that you're trying to build. Which then leads to my next point. Establish who you're talking to and what you're representing. Sometimes as an up and coming artist, you're not sure what type of music you want to make, or you're not sure of who your music is going to connect to, and you do a lot of different things just to try to throw darts here, throw darts there, throw darts there, throw darts there. But you have to establish who you're talking to. Because if I come up to you, let's say I'm a manager, producer, or even a DJ, I want to see, what is this song for? What am I getting out the song? Who would listen to the song? What is the song representing? What are you representing as an artist with your music? You got to figure out who you're representing, who you're speaking to. Because the faster you can find that out, the faster you can build the audience. Because yes, some artists, as new artists, they get lucky with a hit. What happens? It's like hitting a lottery. You may get lucky with a song that may start to blow TikTok, or may start to blow here as an independent artist, and that luck can happen. But the consistent way as an independent artist to make money, because that's a 1 in a million chance. The consistent way is to grow and build an audience. If you're a rapper in college and you're speaking about being a college struggle, make sure that you're presented that way. Make sure the music is presented that way. Make sure that that's the audience you want to speak to. Make sure that's who you promote to. Because once you establish an audience, that's the fastest way to getting a consistent income as an independent artist. Because even if it's 50 people that can relate to you in 6 or 7 different major cities, you can go to those cities and do a show for those people. You can you can market to those places that, you can market to those places once you know the specific audience that you're talking to. As a musician, as an artist, being independent, because you're not going to have the highest budgets in the world. You might not be able to be on billboards and these top playlists, and you may not be able to get these top features that you may want. So you have to establish what's your audience, because that audience is going to stay with you. They're the ones that's going to buy the merch. They're the ones that's going to help your brand. That's the audience that can really make you a successful independent artist. And talking about merch and branding is very important. You have to find different ways to brand yourself. You have to make sure, even if you don't get the merch early on, you have to establish what your, once you find out your audience, you have to establish what your brand is. How are you presenting your brand? How are you tweeting? How are you Instagramming? How are you doing certain techniques to establish what your brand is? Because the brand is what's going to be able to sell. Because you may not be able to, the music may not, the music may be what it is, but it may not sell. It could be the brand that catches on in a whole different light, which could lead to a whole different bag. Prime example, Cardi B's brand sold more than her music did. The brand helped sell the music. The music didn't help sell the brand as much. I'll repeat that again. the brand of Cardi B coming off of Love of Hip Hop from the Bronx as a, you know, her stripper and her Instagram videos, the brand of Cardi B sold the music more than the music sold her brand. So you have to make sure as an independent artist that the brand that you're conveying, that it's serious, that it's whatever you want it to be, because at this point in 2021 anything could work. But you just got to make sure that it's serious, that it's come across as, you know, this is the brand that I want to represent, that I could take it elsewhere outside of just music. But even within music, you got to establish you know, your sector of the marketplace. The marketplace is overcrowded. I have to know what that brand is. If you're giving me R&B breakup songs, I have to see what you're doing with your brand in the R&B breakup song lane to know how that can be sold to a marketer, how to be sold to an investor, how that brand can be sold as a musician. So establishing your brand is one of the most key things that I can tell any independent artist is coming up. You know, next I want to say don't focus on your projects as much as you focus on your singles and visuals. Now, what I mean is, a lot of times artists, you know, they put out a song or two and then they want to jump straight into putting out a mixtape or straight to putting out an album, you know, even as independent. And yeah, that could work, but to me, in today's generation, with of how many artists is out there at the moment, focus on your singles, focus on your visuals. Let's say you have a little buzz. Let's say you're seeing even 5,000 to 6,000 views per SoundCloud post, per YouTube post. Let's say that's the number that you have. Make sure that your visuals are intact. Not saying you gotta have the highest production, not saying nothing of that, but you want to show your face and show what you're trying to represent as much as you possibly can. So the visuals from the videos, the visuals to the Instagrams have to be key. And to me, that's more key than trying to push a whole project and an album on people. To me, this is my personal opinion, as an independent artist, you should have no project over 8 songs drop. There's too much music out. As a DJ, it's hard to filter through what's good and what's bad when it's more than that many songs. When they're trying to come up, focus on this single. I don't matter if you put no project out. Focus on this single, that single, maybe an EP, and then maybe a short project, but it has to be, to me, under 9 to 8 songs tops, because you don't want to give them too much. You want to make everything seem important, even when it's not important, because you never know who will take it important. You want to, and less is also more. You know, you don't want to have a 15, 16 song mixtape. You know, you don't want to oversaturate yourself early on. I understand people were like, you have to grind. That's cool, but continue putting out singles, continue focusing on visuals to the songs you put out, and pay more attention to that than just trying to do a mixtape, than to try to do an album early on. Because those visuals of that song, that might catch a bigger audience than your mixtape project that everybody has a mixtape project out. You know, that's why a lot of new artists, they do a lot of freestyles over popular beats, because they want people to establish, you know, their ability of a freestyle. And then, you know, that's a certain method as an independent artist you could do. Go somewhere, make it look real, do a freestyle over a popular instrumental. You never know, if you go crazy, it might go on, it might pop off. But you want to make sure the visual content is out there more than your audio content, or just as much as your audio content is, because in today everything's about your visuals. Everything they want to a fan base wants to see who you are. They want to establish a connection with you visually and audio. They want to establish both. So make sure that the visuals match the type of music that you're making, even if not at a high budget. But just make sure it matches the audio that you're making, because the visuals is one of the biggest keys to me of being independent today in 2021. Lastly, my last point about all of this is you have to stay consistent. You know, sometimes you might put out so much work over a year or two, and you start not to believe in yourself. You start to second guess this, second guess that. You know, you start trying to reach here and reach there and reach here. You have to remain consistent. If you believe in yourself and you believe in a product that you're selling to this audience or to the people, and you believe in yourself that much as an artist, remain consistent. Because only you gonna believe in yourself. Only you gonna see yourself working. You know, just make sure in that consistency you take it serious. Don't half-ass it. There's too many artists out here in the game currently to be half-assing your music, to be half-assing your production, half-assing your brand. None of that. It's not gonna work in 2021. You have to remain consistent and take that shit seriously. Take it serious. As serious as you possibly can within your life, as much as you have to take it serious. My name is DJ Shacktown, and I just want to provide some lessons, some thoughts. As I always get questions as a DJ that what can you play my record? What can I do to help my career? And I just want to give some pointers of things that has to be developed, that can be developed to become a successful independent artist. Russ is one of the most successful independent artists currently. Seeing his blueprint through SoundCloud is very educational. Do your research. The best education is seeing how others made it the way you want to. And not just the glitz and grammar. I mean the actual research of how this became that. Because the more you can figure out how this became that, the more you can do this to do that. My name is DJ Shacktown. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and I'm out.